What is up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Crunch Time here on RotoGrinders, Sunday afternoon. Major League Baseball slate on tap for us today, and we've got 10 games on the primary slate this afternoon. Should be an interesting one. Lots of stuff to dive in and break down. So you got two of us here now to help do that. I, of course, am Justin Van Zuden. STL Cardinals 84 will be hosting the show. Got TJ Zwarich alongside, fresh off another Spidey Bomb call last night. TJ, what's going on?
Doing well, yeah. The Spidey bombs were popping first with Yordan Alvarez, and then of course Jared Kelenic, the one I was really big on, plus 700 odds, low owned in DFS. He knocked one out of the park as well. So the Spidey bombs are popping, and I'm excited about it. I'm ready to rock some more. Let's get the first one going at 50 likes.
All right, so hit the like button, and we'll hopefully get some more home run calls here today. We've got a third member joining us now. Andre has hopped in. Andre, what's going on today?
Not much. Just had a little malfunction real quick, but nonetheless, I'm here. Ready to break down the slate, give us some good plays, and also give us some good home run plays, hopefully.
That's all right. Technology, that happens sometimes. We got everybody here together on time and ready to go. We've got a 1:35 lock time today, so we've got about 45 minutes now until rosters lock. So plenty of time to get through everything. We will start by going through the pitching on today's slate. We've got some pretty good pitchers on the mound today. Interesting to see how it all ends up shaking out because Jacob deGrom is pitching today, and whenever Jacob deGrom pitches, he's basically in a class by himself. His strikeout prop sits at 9.5 strikeouts today, and he's facing the A's. So Jacob deGrom against the A's, probably tough to get away from him as the overall ace this afternoon. We've also got Kevin Gausman, Clayton Kershaw, and Corbin Burns pitching today as well. So will be interesting to see if anybody puts those guys in a tier along with deGrom, but pretty hard to ignore the way that deGrom is projecting today. So he's probably going to be the starting point for most people. TJ, how are you breaking down these top-end pitchers today?
On Fanduel, I would not be playing anybody else other than Jacob deGrom. 150 lineups or one lineup doesn't matter. It's just all about Jacob deGrom today. I got my Fanduel shirt on as well, so we're feeling good today. Everybody else is priced high enough that I don't really feel like I'd have to take the shots, like it's not like we got anybody standing there that just like projects at an obscenely high point per dollar spot. And so I'm going with deGrom today on FanDuel. I'm not going to be messing around. On DraftKings, obviously where you need SP2s, I'm mixing a bunch of different people in, but and for what it's worth, on DraftKings, I have 150 lineups and 149 of them have Jacob deGrom today. So I'm just not messing around on FanDuel. And then on DraftKings, I'll mix and match multiple different SP2s, which we'll get into.
Yeah, and speaking of our sponsor site, FanDuel, always appreciate them sponsoring the show. If you're in a legal sports betting state, you can sign up for the FanDuel Sportsbook. Take advantage of their awesome bonus offer. New customers, you bet $5, you get $150 in bonus bets there on FanDuel. Terms and conditions apply on that, but you can check them out at the FanDuel Sportsbook, where, again, Jacob deGrom sitting in about 9.5 Ks today, which is, I can't remember the last time we've seen a line that high in terms of strikeouts, especially since he left his last start a little bit early. So will be interesting to see if he can get to those double-figure strikeouts today. Andre, where are you looking as far as the top-end pitchers go today?
Like I said, I echo pretty much what TJ's saying on FanDuel. Just deGrom. Just lock him in. Don't worry about it. Even on DraftKings, just lock him in. Like, it doesn't matter. He's just the best overall pitcher today on this slate. Even at 11K, you can't get away from that against a team like Oakland, where the strikeouts are going to be there. He's probably going to be the highest scoring pitcher on this slate. So I'd say you have to lock in deGrom, and then from there, on both sides, locking the ground, but on a side like DraftKings, you can mix in a couple of these guys. I don't mind taking a shot on guys, obviously, like Hunter Green at 7.5, who I think is in a good matchup against Pittsburgh. Corbin Burns as well. going against Boston at 9-2. I think it's a good guy to take to. Christian Javier, who pretty much does not give a lot of fly balls, so I don't mind him against Atlanta here. Gausman against the Yankees because they do tend to strike out sometimes, so you can go with him as well. I also do not mind the guy. I know he's going to be low owned. Just if you want to take if you're running 150 lineups, a guy like Max Fried is someone I think you could take a shot on here.
Yeah, because
I agree with you 100% there, Dre, with the Max Fried call, taking a shot in tournaments. Kind of what I'm doing over on DraftKings is I'm getting a little Kershaw, little Gausman, little Burns, little Javier, little Giolito, little Fried, little Eflin, little Green, little Ober, and then about 60% Grayson Rodriguez as my SP2. So I was considering just running 150 lineups with DeGrom and Rodriguez, but I figured I don't want to limit the stack differentiations I get to. I'm mixing and matching all these different pitchers, except 99% DeGrom, 50 to 60% Grayson Rodriguez, and everybody else is just a sprinkle. We have reached enough likes for Spidey Bomb number 1. I think of the second one. Let's do 90 likes for the second one. Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. Spins a web any size, catches thief. There it is. Spidey Bomb number 1 today is going to be. Hold on, I just want to see if this first guy can be eligible. No, that's a little too high. So Spidey Bomb number 1 is Jorge Soler today. His odds to hit a home run, you can find him on Fanduel for about plus 300, and we're projecting him at basically a plus 180 guy to hit a home run today. And then from a DFS standpoint, he's affordable. He's a great direct pivot off of Byron Buxton over on DraftKings, where he's a little bit cheaper. And then on FanDuel, he's more expensive, but at 3-1, still very easily affordable. 5% owned on FanDuel, sub 5% owned on DraftKings. I love Jorge Soler to hit one out of the park today.
Can I give one too?
Go for it.
Yeah.
I'm going to give one as well. This guy's on the books in New York here is plus 800 to hit. In the Tigers game, I like Adley Rutschman today to hit a home run.
All right, so there's a couple home run calls off the top here. We'll see if those pay off here today. Jorge Soler, Adley Rutschman, a couple good picks here this afternoon. And I pivoted the screen share over to DraftKings here for a second because, on FanDuel, all the pitching ownership, you got basically 40% plus on DeGrom, and with it being a single pitcher site, there's just not a whole lot of discussion on the other options. But on DraftKings, TJ mentioned Grayson Rodriguez. I like Hunter Green a good bit today. You look at his strikeout props at 7.5. And I know the Pirates have been really good, but the Pirates are hitting like the Babe Ruth era Yankees right now, and the Pirates offense is playing way over their heads at the moment. Not that it's not a good story or anything like that, but there's no way the Pirates keep up that pace offensively. We'll see if Hunter Green can slow them down this afternoon. And so I like the idea of using a cheap second pitcher on DraftKings so it doesn't restrict your bat so much. So Rodriguez, Green, Bailey Ober, who TJ mentioned as well, fits that bill. Ober is not available on FanDuel for those of you who might be looking for him there against the Nats today. He is not on FanDuel, but as opposed to going the double star pitcher route, which I am not doing a whole lot today. That's not to say you can't play Kershaw or Burns or Gausman or any of those guys, but DeGrom and a cheap guy is pretty much my tandem at pitcher today. Anything else for either of you on pitchers before we move along to bats?
No, I'm good. We can take it to bats. 15 more likes for Spidey Bomb number 2. Let's get it.
All right, let's just talk general offenses today, where I am sensing a theme. Teams that have been popular over the weekend: Minnesota because they're facing the Nats, and Texas because they're facing the A's. Minnesota let us down yesterday. Texas did not, with the 18-run outburst against Oakland last night. And it looks like, based on the ownership, we've got those two teams as the most popular offenses again today. So, Andre, where are you looking? Go ahead.
I want to shout out to you cards because I was had a friend's birthday get together last night, and I was bragging about how good the Spidey Bombs were going, and then I was also bragging about you because I was just saying this team we work with at RotoGrinders is so damn good. Pulled up the expert survey and showed your hot take
I don't even remember what it was. Oh, Texas 20 runs.
Texas let us down last night. They won't today. Then they will come back with 20 runs, and they had 18. So that was a pretty hot take, and it almost hit. So shout out to you.
That sucks. 2 runs short. They were facing the position player in the 8th, too. They couldn't get a couple more. I forgot that I wrote that up, or I would have been more upset that they didn't get there. Well, thank you. We'll see. We'll see if the next 20-run hot take hits. That doesn't happen too often, but 18, we'll call it good enough. We'll round it up. Andre, what are you looking at for general teams to target with bats today?
Teams-wise, I definitely like Toronto. I think Toronto's in a good spot that I do like a lot to target here. I also do like the Rays a little bit, even though they're going against, I think, with Giolito here on the slate, which it is a little bit of a concern, but I think he should still be fine. They still should be fine. They're a good team, and Giolito gives them a good amount of fly balls here. Minnesota obviously is another good team we can target here that I like. In Texas as well. And I also do not mind like playing a little bit of this Milwaukee-Boston game on both sides a little bit here. And then also I'm going to be targeting some of these weather games. Like I don't mind the Yankees as a little bit of a stack too, and Cincinnati as well. But going to be focusing on those teams pretty much for the most part, and a little bit of Baltimore.
All right, TJ, what do you like for bats today?
Yeah, so Minnesota is definitely going to be my top stack today. That's kind of one of the nice things about keeping a super narrow pitching pool is I don't mind getting some of the good chalkier stacks in because I'll have a Minnesota stack with 4 or 5 different contrarian secondary stacks with them. And so Minnesota's number 1 for me. And then my tier 2 is going to be Toronto, Texas, and Cincinnati. I don't believe in Clark Schmidt. I do believe in the Toronto Bats. Vince Velasquez is terrible, and so I really like the Reds today. And then Texas, obviously, still in a good spot going up against Kyler Mueller, however you say his name. And then I like Milwaukee, Tampa, Baltimore, Dodgers, Miami. That's kind of my next tier alongside like Pittsburgh, New York, Boston, and Atlanta. I'm getting little bits of in my 150, but the only teams I'm getting like above 10% stacks of are Minnesota, Toronto, Cincinnati, and Texas.
Yeah, I like Cincinnati as well, which is weird to say because it's not like Cincinnati has, a ton of offensive talent and they're weirdly expensive. Like Fraley is 4,500 on DK, Friedel is 4,200, India is obviously over 5,000. But when Velasquez is bad, he's really bad. So don't mind playing some of these Cincinnati guys today. With Velasquez kind of, being hit or miss, the Pirates being a little bit overrated on their hot start. That game is basically a pick 'em. I do like the Reds to salvage a game of that series today. We'll see if that happens. All right, we'll go position by position here. We've got about a half an hour until roster lock. So plenty of time to get through all the positions and take your questions. If you are a RotoGrinders premium subscriber, you can drop those questions in the Discord chat. You can access that, rotogrinders.com/Discord. We'll be in the MLB Crunch Time channel for that. If you're on YouTube, you can drop your questions in there. And if we get time, we will get to those as well. TJ, where are we standing on the thumbs up button?
3 more likes for Spidey Bomb number 2. I'll be honest, Spidey Bomb number 2 isn't the sneakiest play, but it's the player I think will be the highest scoring batter on the entire slate. And I think they're going to double dong. We just hit it. It's Vladimir Guerrero Jr. for the Toronto Blue Jays. I bet on him to double dong today on Fanduel. You can get him for plus 320 on the Play Now Saskatchewan website, where I am now doing some legal sports betting. I got Vlad today for plus 480. And so I did that. I did multiple parlays for Vlad to hit a home run. I did a couple bets for him to double dong as well. I see my buddy Gundacker in chat making fun of me for picking Vladdy. We might do a little bit of live streaming MLB The Show either today or within these next couple of days here. The two of us going at it. So that's going to be fun. But if we can get to 125, 25 more likes, I have the sneakiest Spidey bomb of the season. And this is another player I bet today.
All right. Hit that thumbs up button, and hopefully we can get there at some point during the show. All right. Let's start going position by position. TJ, I'll keep it with you and who you like at catcher today.
Catcher position, my favorite by a large margin is the guy that will be the highest owned. It's Ryan Jeffers. Strong against lefties. He's playing a poor lefty. He's going to be about 15% owned, but I got 30% Ryan Jeffers today. So I got a lot. He and Jonah Heim are the only two catchers on the slate that I'm willing to one off. Everybody else is only in a stack. Rutschman would be added to that list as well. I actually just didn't get to him very often because of the price. I like Jeffers and Heim are my 1 and 2 by a large margin, and then outside of that, it's just stacks for me.
Oh boy.
What's that?
Nah, this GS. I don't know how to say his name in the chat. So disappears. If you're going to can to get the plus 480 odds, because I really just looked at the odds for Vladimir Guerrero in New York. It's plus 310.
Yeah, like I was trying to figure out how to say that name as well, but he's been crushing it with the comments. That was hilarious. And then they had another comment. A's run differential is minus 100 through the first 22 games of the season, which is a new MLB record.
Wow.
They're bad. They're just like, I feel like I read this somewhere that, right, the A's they're going to move to Vegas. It's basically a lame duck franchise just sitting there in Oakland because Oakland won't help them build a new stadium. So, they're just biding their time until they can move to Las Vegas. And somebody in one of the day games, I can't remember when this was, maybe towards the end of last year, it was like a Wednesday, like a 2:10 game or something, and somebody counted the people in the stands at first pitch, and there were 68 people in the stand. Now, there might have been a few people, in the concessions or whatever, even rounded up to 100 if you want, but it's just crazy. And for a team like that, I mean, there's no talent. Why? If you're a longtime Oakland fan, what incentive is there even for you to go to a game and see, okay, yeah, let's watch them lose, and they're going to be leaving in a year or two anyway. Why would you want to line the owner's pocketbooks with any more money? Just a sad state of affairs there with Oakland and the team, and it's they could end up with one of the worst records we've seen in modern baseball history by the end of the year. So
that sounds like the state of affair that Twitter is in right now. When you drop that like 68 people, 64 people, whatever it is, the stats were released at how many people have purchased Twitter Blue since they got rid of the verifications that they had before. And on the entire site with hundreds of millions of viewers, there was a plus minus of plus 28 people who purchased Twitter Blue compared to a few got rid of it. And it wasn't 2,800, not 28,000, 28 total people. I thought that was pretty hilarious. 9 likes away from the sneakiest Spidey bomb of the season.
All right. Andre, you like any catchers today?
I do. I like, obviously, my home run call of Rutschman. I like him today a lot. Ryan Jeffers obviously going to be popular. But these Toronto guys, Gordon and Schmidt, I like both of them. Alejandro Kirk. And since, TJ did give another home run for second one, my second home run is going to be Danny Jansen, who is a catcher also in the lineup but bagging the 8th spot. I like him today going against Schmidt. And especially in a mini Toronto stack, that you go with any one of these guys. Heim obviously is good. Bethencourt is another good option I would use only in the stack here. And if you want to get a little bit, sneaky and off the board, I always can keep a little bit of a Dodger stack. So Austin Barnes in a Dodger stack if you want to grow with the Dodgers a little bit here.
All right. Agreed on the Toronto calls. Like those guys today as potential catcher plays if you are going away from the chalkier options. All right, let's move to first base. TJ, what do we got for first base options today? Obviously, probably Mr. Guerrero.
Mr. Guerrero, Vlad is my highest owned first baseman today. 4 likes away from Spidey Bomb number 2. Rowdy Tellez is going to be my next highest owned first baseman here. I like him a lot. And then outside of that, it's mostly just stacking. Myers, Lowe, Gallo, Mountcastle, Freeman, Diaz, Solano, like all those guys today.
All right, Andre, who are you looking at first base today?
Pretty much everyone that he mentioned there. Did you mention Mountcastle too, right? Yeah, Mountcastle. Okay, yeah. So Mountcastle's a guy that I definitely do like a lot too. Here, I don't mind even Will Myers here in this against Velasquez. I know you probably want more so lefties, but I think Will Myers is good just to get a little bit different. A part of the Cincinnati stack. If you want to either do it as a mini or a full stack here, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Jose Abreu, I don't mind either. If you want to run a little bit of a mini Houston stack as a secondary, I think that's a good option too as well.
All right, yeah, always a strong position. I think you're going to see, the various price points will be owned at some degree today with, especially if you're on DraftKings with Solano at first base. Vlad, obviously, if you're spending up, Tellez is still mildly affordable there on DK. And those 3 guys give you a top tier option, one of the higher owned guys at each of the various price points, like the Mountcastle call, like him for a potential home run today as well. All right, let's move to second base. And TJ, what are you looking at for second base plays today?
We have reached the necessary number for the next Spidey Bomb. So who knows? Maybe we'll even get to like 160 and I can give a 4th Spidey Bomb today. But I want to preface this by saying this isn't a Spidey Bomb call because it's a tough matchup, but I'm just going to keep betting James Outman to hit home runs as long as he's plus 700 every night. Like, that's just something I'm going to keep doing. We brought it up on the show yesterday. He had a double dong. He double donged again yesterday morning. So as long as he's still plus 750 every day, I'm going to keep making that James Outman bet. But Spidey Bomb number 3, the sneakiest one of the entire season. We like Minnesota today. Minnesota is our favorite stack. We want to find a way to get different. Patrick Corbin is horrific against right-handed batters, and there's a way that we can save some salary and get a speedy guy who's going to hit one out of the park today as well. Michael Taylor is going to hit a home run today, plus 750. I got him on one of my 2 main DraftKings teams, and I bet him to hit a home run as well. Michael Taylor is going to hit a home run. I don't know why, but Spidey said so.
I once famously called him back when he was on the Royals the worst starting everyday outfielder in the major leagues, which was probably quite harsh at the time. He might have, he's obviously better now than he was then. This was about 5 years ago, but I've always felt kind of bad for Michael Taylor after I threw him under the bus like that. It was completely uncalled for. But so if he does hit a homer today, I'll take back my statement. I already kind of have, but we'll see if Michael Taylor can go yard today. All right. Back to you, TJ. What do you got at second base?
So Marcus Semien is probably my favorite, but he is tough to get to. It's just he's probably the best player at this position by a fairly large margin. I like India. I like Polanco, but I do find myself just fully punting this position a lot. And so Tucupita Marcano, that's the guy that I'm actually playing the most, a flat 2K, batting second for the Pirates today. I got him at about 19%. I don't mind Bryce Turang. I like Zach McKinstry in lineups that I'm not playing. Grayson Rodriguez, and then Ramon Urias is the last guy that I'm getting to a decent amount.
All right, Andre, what do you like at second today?
Obviously Semien. I do like him a lot. India as well. Brandon Lowe. Brandon Lowe, I don't mind here as well too. I like the Tusapika call. And I also do like the Bay, go with Bay here in Pittsburgh because Green does give up a lot of fly balls on both sides of the plate. So a mini Pittsburgh stack would not surprise me if they like go off a little bit here. So I don't mind using those 2 guys as a part of it or using one of them because obviously Tusapika on DraftKings you can use in the outfield. Same thing with Bay as well. So using that as a mini stack, I think it'll be perfect. Polanco, obviously, Dubon, if you want to go against Freed, I think is a good one as well. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have here. Oh, Whit Merrifield. Don't want to forget about Whit. I think he's good at your Toronto stacks.
All right. Again, reminder, we'll start taking your questions here in a little bit. We do have plenty of time today to get through everything. We gave it 50 minutes to get through all the games, so no rush in terms of time. For those of you who might just be tuning in, Jacob deGrom is the top pitcher today, if you're going to be wondering that. So deGrom against Oakland is pretty much as safe as it comes. If you're asking about weather, there's nothing that's worse than a flat yellow on Kevin Ross weather forecast. Potential showers in Cleveland, potential showers in Chicago for the Dodgers and the Cubs. Nothing that seems overly concerning, but those are the couple games that have that flat yellow that we will maybe need to keep an eye on as we get closer to first pitch in those games, which is, let's see, in Cleveland. That is a 1:40 start, so we should know on that game pretty soon if there is going to be some type of delay. I haven't looked at the actual current radar to see if there's anything imminent, but those are the games that did have some concern in Kevin Ross' original forecast this morning. All right, let's move it over to third base. TJ, what you got there today?
Jose Miranda is the top guy here by a very large margin for me. Like, he's my favorite play batting cleanup against Corbin. And then additionally, he's 2.6K on DraftKings, 2.5 on Fanduel. Probably the best salary saving option on the slate. Outside of him, it's just kind of a mixed bag, mostly in stacks for me. Spencer Steer, Matt Chapman, Max Muncy, Josh Jung, Ramon Arias. That's kind of where I'm mostly looking to go to today.
All right, Andre, what do you like at third base?
Muncy, Devers going against Burns. That's a little bit of a one-off. I don't mind him as well. Josh Jung, Miranda, steering your Cincinnati stacks. Isaac Paredes. If you're going with a Tampa Bay mini stack against Giolito, I don't mind it as well. If you want to take a chance, I know Kershaw's been is not a bad pitcher. Not in his prime like he once was, but Patrick Wisdom as a one-off, I think it's a good option that you can take advantage of here and go that route as well. Ezekiel Duran in your Texas stack, I do not mind taking shots on him today as well. And yeah, that'll be it for me at third base. Oh, Matt Chapman. Sorry. Toronto. I like Toronto a lot. So Matt Chapman.
All right. I'm going to look and see, make sure we haven't any scratches come down the wire or anything like that. Some of the later afternoon lineups are starting to come out. The Royals lineup, that's for the late afternoon slate. We've got, I believe, all the lineups we've had for a while with no changes for these main slate games that start by the 2:35 Eastern. Last lock time for the early games. All right, let's pivot on over to shortstop. TJ, your thoughts on shortstop today?
We're 13 likes away from 150. Let's get us up there. I want to get us up to 150 likes. It looks so clean. And I'll even, if we get to 150, I'll drop the guy that I just bet to hit a home run today. At shortstop, Carlos Correa, by far the top option. I got like 30% Correa today, and then nobody else more than 12. My next highest owned guy is going to be John Birdie. It's a really weak position today on DraftKings. Like, I really only like going to Correa, Birdie, Adames, and Bichette. Like, those are really the only four that I like. I'll mix in some McKinstry as a punt. I'll mix in some Mateo and some Franco, but Correa, Birdie, Adames, and Bichette are really the only four I'm excited about today.
Yeah, interesting to see where the long-term production goes with Birdie. Given the bump in stolen bases this year that we've seen. Haven't seen a whole lot from him this past week. I was pulling up his game log, but he does have, I think, 5 or 6 steals on the year. And he's really cheap. He's $3K on DraftKings. He's $2,500 on FanDuel. So Birdie is a guy that's projecting well in that leadoff spot today against Allen. Let's see.
And like Carlos Correa at 2,900 on FanDuel,
On
like
FanDuel,
that's just
yeah.
an absolute, like probably a lock for cash games.
Yeah, for sure. The Twins as a whole are cheaper there on FanDuel than they are on DraftKings, and they grade out pretty well on DK also. All right, Andre, your thoughts at shortstop today?
Birdie, Bichette, Correa, Franco. I don't mind taking some shots. Franco, I don't mind taking some shots on here. And there's one more guy that I had interested. Where is he? That on the list. Oh, Jeremy Pena. If you want to go, like I said, with the Houston mini stack, I don't mind him as well.
All right. Let's see. It's probably outside of that, Birdie, Correa, and the fact that they're cheaper on FanDuel. Probably not a spot where you want to go the complete punt route, just because there's so many of the high-end plays with plenty of upside at shortstop. All right, outfielders, and then we'll get to questions. Maybe we'll get enough likes for another home run call. TJ, what do you like for outfield today?
Only 5 likes away. So Byron Buxton is, like, without a doubt the best play at this position. It's a weaker outfield position than we've kind of had the last few days that I find. Guys like Aaron Judge in a really tough matchup. I kind of rank them Buxton 1, Garcia 2, and then Spidey Bomb Jorge Soler number 3. And then I'm getting to quite a few cheapies as well, like Marcano has outfield eligibility, Michael Taylor, another Spidey Bomb I'm getting to a lot. And then outside of that, it's mostly just people I'm playing in stacks. So, TJ Friedel, Jake Fraley for Cincinnati, George Springer, Dalton Varsho for the Blue Jays, Outman and Betts for the Dodgers, a little bit of Kerry Carpenter today in the lineups that I don't have. Grayson Rodriguez, another guy who just always has strong home run odds. I don't mind Austin Hayes leading off for the Orioles. Jack Suwinski is a punt option. Akili Badu in my lineups that don't have Grayson Rodriguez, but like the only 3 guys that I'm like excited to play in terms of spend ups are Buxton, Garcia, and Soler, and then my top 2 cheapies are Marcano and Michael Taylor.
All right, Andre, what do you got for outfielders today?
Pretty much like name them all. That's the thing. Like me and TJ think alike a lot. So he named pretty much all the guys that I do like here. If you want to take some shots on some Milwaukee guys, I do like some of those, like Winker, Yelich. I don't mind as well. And if you want to go like if you want to go with where's the guy? Where's he at? Like even like one I was like Verdugo against Burns. I don't think that's a bad option here as well. Just some low owned guys that you can look at to just use as one-offs, and obviously use the same guys that we touched on that TG touched on, and I would use in our stacks too as well. And mainly, like you said, this position is not the strongest as it normally is. So, yeah, I would try to use maybe 2 of them in the stacks, maybe have one off in the outfield if you can. I think that's not a bad option and a bad way to go today on this rate.
Speaking of Dre and I thinking alike, his one-off, he brought up a one-off call at third base that I was legitimately just placing for a home run bet, because this Play Now website in Saskatchewan had Patrick Wisdom's odds at 6.5 or like 6 plus 650. And so Wisdom on FanDuel is still plus 30. I think that's good odds. Kershaw, if he makes contact, like, it's probably going to go out. That's basically what it comes down to. He's either Kershaw's going to strike him out, or Wisdom's going to send this one out of the park. He's got a massive 560 ISO to lefties so far this season. Obviously, that sample size is small, but this is the guy that's like has the best ISO against lefties in baseball at 350 over the last season. So Wisdom's odds are still good, and more important than anything else, it's a weekend. And so Patrick,
and he didn't homer yesterday. I mean, we know he's not going to go a whole weekend without hitting one. So,
exactly,
it might as well be today. Let's do it. All right. Again, if you got questions, we'll start getting to those now. We do have plenty of time. We have 13 minutes left until lock. So, let's see. First question in the Discord, is Logan Allen on a pitch count? So most likely, yes. He's largely pitched out of the bullpen. They've stretched him out a bit in the minors, but it's his major league debut. I can't imagine that they're going to have him go out there and throw 100 pitches. So for more or less, 70, 75, 80 pitches, that's probably what they're looking for from him. Like, if you're looking to play Logan Allen, I just don't think it makes sense. If you're looking to, how that impacts your view of the Marlins bats, that could be, a potential reason to potentially look at it. But I don't see any reason to mess with it a whole lot, though he probably is on some type of pitch count. All right. BJ Adam asks, is 5 Twins too many for cash games today? I'll let both of you answer that.
No,
don't think so.
All right, so 5 Twins. It's it's Patrick Corbin. You can never go wrong. All right, Crazy Coop. Thoughts on Brewers lefties or a full stack in GPPs? Andre, what do you think of the Brewers today?
I don't mind the Brewers today. Not as full stack is tough. Bello has gotten better, but I don't mind it. I don't mind it as a full stack, but not something I'm gonna be a high on today. I would say.
All right. Yeah, Milwaukee, I kind of like. I kind of lumped them right underneath Minnesota and Texas today in terms of kind of like the number 3 overall team with some upside, because Bayo he's got some talent, but when he's bad, he can be really, really bad. So we've got quite a few questions related to the Brewers, guys. The first one is FanDuel GPP from Raymond. TJ, you like Yelich or Soler today?
Soler. So I don't mind the Brewers guys either, but that's kind of the team that I'm looking at that I think is going the most over-owned today, outside of a chalky Minnesota. But Yelich and Adames, they're picking up a lot of ownership today, so I don't know how much I actually want to go there.
Yeah, I'm surprised. It's a little bit higher than I expected at the early part of the day as well. So I don't mind being a little underweight if the chalk kind of sticks with them this afternoon. All right, Andre, we've got a FanDuel cash question from Achilles here. Rowdy Tellez or Adolis Garcia?
Garcia.
Obviously coming off a huge game last night. 3 homers, a double, a hit by pitch, 8 RBIs. That will play for sure for Adolis Garcia, and they have another game here against Oakland to take advantage of. All right, good questions here from Jay Sam's large field GPP question. TJ, if you're set on playing Gallo in your twin stacks, who would you be willing to fade in that twin stack? Correa, Miranda, Buxton. Who would you leave out if you're trying to make sure you got Gallo's upside in your stack?
From a contrarian standpoint, the best one to leave out would be Buxton, but the one I would feel most comfortable fading would probably be Miranda.
Yeah, Miranda just doesn't have the same type of ceiling as Buxton, but if you're just going based on ownership, particularly on FanDuel, Buxton is going to be the popular play. Just tough to leave him out with his ceiling for sure. All right, that's all the questions we have in the Discord. We still have about 8 minutes left here until lineup lock. Let's see. I will pivot on over to the YouTube and see what we've got for questions in there. Let's see. TJ, where are we at?
152 likes. We're cruising. We're doing well. Who's swiping a bag other than John Birdie today?
Well, it's stolen bases are up this year, so Noah Syndergaard's not pitching until tomorrow, so we can't pick on him yet. But I don't know. I don't bet the stolen base props a whole lot. I think they've kind of nerfed those a little bit. But is that somebody officially asking, or are you asking?
No, that was in the YouTube chat. I had it up. I was answering some of them, so I figured I could just go through them because they were right there in front of me. But what do you guys think of Corbin Burns as a SP2 on DraftKings for a high stakes single entry?
Go ahead, Andre. What are your thoughts on Burns today?
I'm looking at the matchup right now against Boston. I mean, they don't really strike out much. I mean, but Corbin Burns is a good pitcher. He has a lot of fly balls to righties, so I mean, I don't mind it. There's a lot of lefties in his lineup. Yeah, there's more lefties than that. Why are they rolling out a lot of lefties against this guy? I mean, I get why, but he's a right-hand pitcher. But yeah, I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. But I wouldn't. DraftKings, I'm assuming this is the site.
Yeah.
Let me see. He's the second most. I mean, if he has whoever it is, if they have anything left, I don't mind going up a little bit, but it's not a bad option.
All right, I got the chat open now, so I can throw out some of these questions. Yeah, Mr. Gerg says Birdie is plus 130 to steal a base, which is just crazy odds because you actually got to get on base, and you got to generally be on first base or second base in order to make that happen. So they've really nerfed those stolen base odds this year for sure. All right, Luke with a good question. Stacks that you think are going over-owned. So what's one team that you'd maybe be okay being underweight on today, TJ?
Milwaukee.
All right, Andre, who are you thinking is maybe going to be a little over-owned today?
That's a tough one. What team do I think is going to be over-owned?
Right.
It's probably going to be Texas. If I had to guess, I would say either Texas or Minnesota.
For what it's worth, like Minnesota is over-owned.
No, I know.
They're not.
It's
yeah,
just,
like they're yeah.
Sorry, no, it's because of the weather. Like the weather there, like if you look at like according to like the weather edge, I would say they're going way over as opposed to what the weather edge is telling us.
A lot of discussion in the YouTube chat on Joey Gallo, which again another player that is really resurrected himself, not out of New York, so maybe away from that pressure a little bit. Some people have commented on that. Obviously, the ban of the shift has helped as well with guys like him and Bellinger. So Armat says, is DeGrom the top pitcher? Yes, and twice on Sundays. Today's Sunday, so yes. And 3 times when you're facing Oakland as well. It's the trifecta. It's DeGrom, it's Sunday, and it's against Oakland. So Terry Cole, any interest in stacking Washington against Ober? TJ, any interest in a Washington stack?
150 lineup, 0 Washington.
It's probably not a bad idea to go with 0 Washington. They scored their allotment of runs for the week yesterday. So,
that made me so mad. Just like I was just like looking at I had a ton of Pablo Lopez, and so I was just like looking at the score, like wondering like how this was going on, and then I saw the highlights. Every single one of these hits that he was giving up, and he had like 7 through the first 3 innings or something, was just like bloop single. Not very hard hit ball through the infield that the second baseman misses. It was ridiculous. Like he could have had a no hit first 3 innings with better defense.
Yeah. It'll happen in baseball sometimes. It'll get you. All right, we got quite a few more questions here in the Discord now. Let me get back to those. We got 5 minutes to lock. Achilles, FanDuel Cash, rank these outfield values. Do you have a preference, Andre, out of Friedel, Fraley, and Robbie Grossman?
It's gonna Grossman's definitely last.
Yeah,
Friedel, Fraley is close for me. I'm probably gonna have to go Friedel and then Fraley.
I like the Reds today. Give me Friedel as well. All right, let's see. Pick 2 in cash: Friedel, Soler, Yelich, Varsho. We know TJ likes Soler. Who's your second out of Friedel, Yelich, and Varsho in cash?
probably Yelich for cash. And for what it's worth, like I love Soler for tournaments, but I would probably just go with the like higher projected, even higher owned option for cash games. And so like for me, I'd probably go in cash Yelich, Friedel maybe, but like Soler is my favorite from a tournament standpoint.
All right, Jay Sams, any interest in a Tampa stack for you today, Andre? Nobody ever plays that Tampa offense, even though they're like 17-3 or something like that, 18-3.
Honestly, with them being the best off, so far, one of the best, probably the best team in the league right now, I would just play them every day. just until they cool off a bit. They're with 13 and 3 or something like that. So I would have a stack of them every single day. Just one if you're making 150 lineups.
Beaner wants a recap on the Spidey Bombs, TJ.
All right, Spidey Bomb number 1.
Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. Spins a web any size, catches thief.
Trying to get this in before lock, Rob. Spidey Bomb number 1.
Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. Spins a web any size, catches thief.
It's not me. This is hurting. It's the viewers. Spidey Bomb number 1, Jorge Soler. Spidey Bomb number 2, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. And number 3, Michael Taylor.
All right. He also has thoughts on Rodriguez for pitching. There's 2 Rodriguez's on the opposite side of that game, but Eduardo is a no. Baltimore Rodriguez, pretty good value, particularly on DraftKings today. NBA DFS says a FanDuel cash question. TJ, Varsho and Urias or Springer and Birdie?
Springer and Birdie.
Crazy Coop. Andre, any interest in a 3-man Tigers stack today?
No.
The Tigers are right down there with the Washington. Oh, TJ likes the Tigers as a vomit stack.
Carpenter, McKinstry, and who was the third one?
Can't even name 3 players on their offense. They're so bad.
I did
Who's
tag
the third one I'm playing?
though, so I do like Carpenter as a one-off, but not as a.
Badu.
Okay, yeah, you did mention him already. Yeah, all right.
2,400, 3K, and 2/3 on DraftKings. Like that is and you get to utilize McKinstry as second base and shortstop eligibility. In my lineups that I'm not playing Rodriguez, I actually like going with those 3 guys quite a bit.
Does work on DraftKings if you're trying to get double stud pitchers. If you're trying to go like Kershaw, DeGrom, or something like that, it can work. Andrew wants to know favorite SP2. Generally the cheap guys, Baltimore Rodriguez, Hunter Green is my favorite with his strikeout upside as well. All right. YouTube chat has gone off the rails with somebody asking about spiders spinning webs when on LSD. I am not sure what's up with that, but we'll ignore that one. We are caught up on the Discord questions, and we are 2 seconds from lock. So that was perfect timing. All right. TJ, anything else for the people before we call it a Sunday afternoon here?
I think that's it. I'm not ready to call it a Sunday afternoon. It's still early in the morning for me here on the West Coast. But good luck today, everybody. It's been a fun weekend of baseball. It's a really fun slate today. We've really been cooking the last few days. Hopefully, we can keep it going.
All right. Amen to that. Andre, anything else for you before we get out of here?
No, not really. Just making sure I got my home run plays in. Did the mixture of TJs and mines that we called today on the show. So hopefully it goes off, and hope everyone wins a lot of money and wins first place in these contests today. I'm not coming second behind TJ in whatever contest he's in.
All right. With that,
you don't have to worry about that, Dre, because I MME the $1 on DraftKings, which you're not even allowed to play.
Oh yeah, I'm not even playing today, but I'm like banned from every like small dollar contest.
Well, with that, we will get out of here and call it a Sunday show for you. Thanks to TJ, thanks to Andre for joining me, thanks to Rob for producing behind the scenes, and we'll catch you all later. We'll be back here as usual on Monday with the start of the work week. Major League Baseball slates for you. So tune back in tomorrow. Hit the like button on your way out if you haven't already. Of course, I am Justin, and enjoy the rest of your weekend, everybody. We'll see you later.